What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here with yet another video for you guys. Got Slav in the hot seat this time. How's it going, Slav? Keeping well?
All good. You okay? Everything all right?
Everything is great. I've got a very interesting video to bring to you guys today. We are going to be ranking the last 15 wingers to play for Tottenham Hotspur. We were going to do the last 20 wingers, but Slav's too young to remember them, so we're going to stick with the last 15. We're going to stick with the last 15. The tiers that we're ranking them in are elite, good, average, and poor. All right, you excited for this one?
Well, I feel like we all know which one is going to be the most popular tier. But yeah, let's get straight into it.
All right, let's start off with Andy Reid. Came to Spurs from... He was quite highly rated when he came to Spurs from Nottingham Forest. Where are we putting him?
Poor.
I think poor. I think he came with a big reputation.
He wasn't ever. He's so fat.
Yeah, you know what I mean. He had more pork pies than goals for Spurs.
I do. So. He had an absolute rocket on him.
Yeah, he did. He had great techers, but he didn't show it enough, did he?
No, he was like a power league footballer. Like your dad, like one of those.
Well, yeah, he'll play in your dad's game, not even your game.
But he'll stand out because it's power league. But yeah, Premier League football.
Yeah, poor.
Not great.
All right, let's move on to Steed Malbronk. Steed was a player I loved at Spurs. I actually loved him. He doesn't go into elite, obviously, but somewhere between good and average. Where would you put him?
Maybe we should add another mini tier in there.
Yeah. No matter how many tiers you have, you can always do it more.
He was good. He scored some important goals. I remember him scoring against Arsenal
in the 5-1.
In the 5-1, he set up goals. He came from Fulham, I think.
Yeah.
And he ended up being quite a good signing. And for someone who was quite a very small, wide man, he wasn't blessed with a lot of pace, but he had great feet, and he was a good player for us.
I think he was sometimes a player that didn't get the credit he deserved, and I felt that a lot of the times he was very underrated at Tottenham Hotspur, and he was a very, very important player for us. And for that, I think I put him in good.
Yeah, it's
like the lower end of good, top end of average kind of thing.
I think now it's difficult. Back then we weren't the side that we are now.
Of course.
You'd probably put him in average now, but at the time you maybe put him in good. So again, yeah, so top end of average, lower end of good.
All right. Wayne Routledge. He's another one that came with a big reputation as a young player.
Yeah, and then he ended up scoring against us for Swansea, didn't he, a couple of years ago?
Always the way, innit?
Yeah, he was at Palace at one point in his career. He was another one that was tipped for big things, and it never really happened. I think he had a lot of injuries. I
think he came at the same time as kind of Aaron Lennon. And obviously, Lennon was younger than him, but Routledge came with a bigger reputation, but Lennon was just much better than him.
Yeah.
For that, I think Routledge...
It was the end product. It was the...
He's poor for me.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I don't actually remember him doing anything in a Spurs shirt, really.
I remember there was one game, I think, where he played a good game when we played... I think it was Palace or QPR at home very early on in his career. We won 5-0. I think he had a good game that game, but... Apart from that, I really can't remember much.
That's a good memory.
I could be completely wrong, so let me know in the comment section below.
Poor.
All right, yeah, he goes into poor. Stephen Pienaar from Everton. We sold him back to Everton as well.
Yeah, he didn't play that much.
He played in that AC Milan game.
He was not a winger that is again blessed with pace, but a great feet, a great shot on him. He scored an absolute worldie against someone. I can't remember who it was.
I can't remember. We need Simeon here for that.
Yeah. I feel like he may have scored against Liverpool for us.
Don't think so.
But maybe not. But he was a good player. I'd put him in good. He was good for us.
You think so?
I thought he was quite good. You can't remember. How much did he cost?
Like 3 million or something. I would put him in average. I wouldn't put him... Because you got to think of it as the players that we're going to put in good, and does he stack up with those kind of players? I think Malbronk was a better player for us than Pienaar was, and Malbronk we put at the lower end of good.
Well, I think Pienaar was brought in to do a job.
Yeah,
and he did do a job.
He wasn't at us for that long. He didn't get too many chances.
Chose a very strange squad number.
Yeah, what was it?
It was like 40 or something.
Yeah,
something like that.
I would put him in average.
Yeah, but you said he played in that AC Milan game.
He did play in that AC Milan game, but I think that with the reputation he came with you know, played in week out for Everton, having a really good career at Everton. But then when he came to Spurs, I think he only had the odd good game here and there, and that's why I'd put him in average.
Okay, well, we'll go with I'll go with average. I'll go with you on that one.
All right, and next up is the man Gareth Bale. We know where we're putting him.
Is there one? Is there? Like
there should be a tier above.
Above.
Yeah, but he's elite.
He's one of the best in the world now. He's amazing. I'd do anything for Gareth Bale to come back.
With the reports saying Gareth Bale could be open to a move to Spurs, do you believe it could happen?
No. But he is a joke. He's an absolute joke. I remember the hat trick he get at Villa Park. Every time he got the ball at White Hart Lane, everyone just used to stand up. Literally, just makes the whole stadium stand up. The year where he was for AVB, where he was scoring worldies every week, the West Brom away, West Ham away, took Rio Ferdinand for a walk at Old Trafford. Just the list goes on.
And that last season at Spurs, those last 5 or 6 games, he literally just scored a worldie, 1-0 Spurs or 2-1 Spurs every game.
Honestly,
and they got better and better as they went on.
He's the man, when he's fully fit and at his best, he's unstoppable. Yeah, correct. He really, really is unstoppable.
It's just a shame to see how his career is going at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he might end up being a good golfer.
I think he is a good golfer.
A professional golfer.
I think Daniel Levy needs to build a golf round in the Spurs Lodge in Hotspur Way.
But I'd do anything for Gareth Bale to come back. One of the best players we've ever had, in my opinion. All
right, Gareth Bale goes into elite. David Bentley.
Again, another one that came with a big price tag. Had a great career at Blackburn.
They were talking about he was supposed to be the heir to David Beckham's throne on the England spot.
Set piece specialist. Didn't do it for us.
Well, you say he didn't do it for us, but
okay, he scored it. If you were going to tell me he scored at the Emirates,
no, I wasn't just going to talk about that. But I think that David Bentley, I think he gets a lot of a bad rap for his time at Spurs, and rightly so most of the time. But I do think he had some good games there, especially in that season we made top 4.
Yeah, but then if you go to the seasons before that, I remember him coming in. And we beat, I think it was Roma in a friendly, I think 5-0.
Yeah.
And then we got 2 points from our first 8 or 9 games. And he was part of that.
Yeah, but you know,
did he play that big of a part in that year we got Champions League?
I think he was a very underrated player that season. I'm not going to put him in good or elite, but I'd put him in average. I don't think he was that poor to put him in poor.
I mean, I think what he did when we won at City, when he poured the
yeah, exactly. He gets points up for that. He gets points up for his goal at the Emirates. He scored in the Wigan 9-1 as well.
Didn't that go down as an own goal? Winning off the goal.
It might have done. It might have gone down as an own goal.
He scored. Obviously, that goal at the Emirates is a special goal. But yeah, average. I was so excited when we signed David Bentley. Mm-hmm. Like you said, he was meant to be the next David Beckham, DB, but
wasn't to be.
No.
All right, David Bentley, you go into average. Now we go on to Aaron Lennon. This is an interesting. Great servant to the club.
Raw pace, especially in the early Aaron Lennon years, where he was just he's gone. Just a quick shift the ball to the right and he's gone, and he'll clip it in. And then you had the Aaron Lennon that would clip it in for Crouch to knock down for Van der Vaart or Defoe. Scored big goals at the against our Emirates, at home to Arsenal, Chelsea. West Ham away, Chelsea. Feel like we're missing some.
We're missing loads. Aaron Lennon was an absolutely...
Set up the goal at Old Trafford when we won 2-1.
Set up the goal in Milan as well for Crouchy.
So
look, the guy was a brilliant servant to us, but I just don't think he goes into elite. I think he's like the top end.
I think it's a shame he never won things with us.
I mean, he won the Carabao in 2008, didn't he?
But I meant
proper
trophies.
A shame no one won anything with us.
We had great players. You always wonder how we didn't win domestic trophies with these players.
Goes into good, doesn't he?
Aaron Lennon was a great player. Yeah. Raw pace, end product.
He frightened the life out of defenders. He really did. We had Bale on one side, Lennon on the other side. That was absolutely electric.
Brought in from Leeds, ended up loving the club, and it was just a shame. I think just age caught up with him.
Age, and it was very upsetting to see when he was suffering from those mental health issues as well. The guy is Tottenham through and through.
Such a good player. I'd put him in. I don't know. Again, good and I don't know if he's elite, but he's better than good. He's not Gareth Bale level.
I think in these tiers, he falls into the good category.
Okay, I would put him in a very good category in between good and elite. But unfortunately, we don't have those. So maybe if you want to join me in making your own category, we're going to put Aaron Lennon in very good on this side.
Nasir Chadli.
Good. I remember
Scored
he
goals
scored
for
against us. He scored against
20.
us for 20 and then joined us that summer, I think.
Yeah.
And he was really good. Scored that goal at the Emirates. Not
shushing the home fans.
You've never been in limbs like that. That was you watch it and it's like the City away limbs from 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Good player, great shot. That goal at Newcastle as well to get him started. Scored
like
some big goals. Scored some big goals for us. And he was a good, again, another one whose career sort of
petered out after he left Spurs.
Yeah. I'm not even sure. Was it a good decision to sell him? Do you think at the time?
Well, who did we have instead?
What was it? Was Poch's? He went at the end of Poch's first season, didn't he? So
yeah. So didn't we sign HeungMin Son that season?
Yeah, it would have been Son.
I mean, if you're comparing Chadli to HeungMin Son, because that's the actual
I think Delhi
swap
came in
that we did. I think you got to say it's a no-brainer, really.
Oh, of course, but I think as an option on the reason why one of the reasons why, in my opinion, we didn't go on to win trophies with Poch was squad depth and bench options. And I think getting rid of Chadli was a mistake in terms of if you're 1-0 down or it's 1-0 and you need to go on and win, he gets goals. Yeah, he gets goals. And when you're looking at the wingers that we did bring in, like Nkudu and Ng and those kind of players, it's like, why have we got rid of someone who had been doing well for a couple of years and scoring goals for us for a couple of years and wasn't on a lot of money and was very happy to sort of sit on the bench.
Belgium international as well.
I think he still is.
Maybe.
And so I think it was a decision at the time to let him go. I think he could have done with another year.
I remember that trip out to Benfica in the Europa League when we had no chance as well. And he scored 2
two
goals in the last 5
didn't
minutes. I think Nasir Chadli was a brilliant player for us. Obviously, he doesn't go into elite, but another one that goes into the good category.
Exactly. Yeah, and also I remember at Crystal Palace away, that Dele Alli goal, Nasir Chadli scored a 25-30 yard worldie as well. But no one remembers it because of Dele's goal.
That's true.
But Chadli then decided to own and score a worldie as well. And doesn't really get a lot of credit. That goal was a great strike. So,
and he was also he played for the badge every time he played.
Yeah, he was a good, but he wasn't another player, another winger we had that wasn't rapid. He wasn't fast, but technically he was brilliant.
He read the game well. Footballing, really good footballing IQ.
He was strong. He was built. He was tall. He was physical. I honestly think we let him go a year too soon because then he went to West Brom and scored against us, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's turning into a sort of
a common theme.
Here.
Andros Townsend. I don't think he scored against us, but he's tried to score against us so hard.
Good, but not good enough. I think he was another player that loves the club, and I think we all appreciated that he loved the club and always put his best, but he just wasn't really good enough.
I remember when he first broke into the team is when we sold Gareth Bale.
Yeah,
and everyone converted that song. Oh, Gareth Bale, he was born to play for Spurs. To Andros Townsend, he was born, and that was his downfall. Yeah. We put so much hope onto this Andros Townsend because we were looking out for a talisman after selling Bale, and it just didn't. He just didn't live up to the hype. I thought he was better than he actually was.
I still think he thinks that.
Yeah.
And the thing with Andros Townsend, he scored that goal at Villa, and everyone thought, oh, we've got a winger on our hands here, and it's just not good enough.
And there was another goal. I think it was against Chelsea? I know he scored a penalty against Chelsea, but there was one. Was it the Villa goal that I'm talking about when he just ran round the whole team and just slotted it in the bottom corner? Or was that against
Villa
Chelsea?
Was a cross that went all the way in.
Right. Maybe it was against Chelsea. He just ran round the whole team and just slotted it. Or maybe it was against someone else. I can't remember. Let us know in the comment section below who that was against. But in terms of Townsend, I'm putting him in average.
Yeah, I think it's sort of look where he's been after us: Newcastle, Crystal Palace. Am I missing one?
I just remember that game when we lost 5-1 to Newcastle and he played against us last game of the season, and he was trying so hard to score that game.
I think even this year for Palace on the last game of the season, every time he got the ball, just cutting in and shooting.
Yeah, and just goes miles over or just hits the defender.
He was average.
That was his problem. He didn't have a footballing IQ. You know what I mean? But he'd get the ball and just shoot.
What he is, I think he's an academy success story.
Yeah,
he cost us nothing. But the thing is,
how much we sell him for?
I don't know. I'm not a few million at least. But the thing is, with the academy prospects and the academy players, it costs nothing to train them and to turn them into a player. To then, if you go get 3-5 million off them, that's free. It's essentially a free 5 million. If we even nowadays, if a player comes, if Jack Rolls, for example, if he doesn't make it, I'm sure we'll get a good few $100,000, $1 million. That's a success story. We've got money for him. So, Luke Amos,
yeah, I was
500, free Amos. 500 grand.
Yeah,
it's money for Daniel Levy.
It's money for his penthouse.
So
yeah, so Andros Townsend going into average. Next up, Clinton and G.
Well, he did one thing, and that was against City, wasn't it?
Yeah, he came on against City and played well.
Span Kolarov.
Yeah, that's literally the only thing.
I think that's the only time did he ever play again?
I don't know, but it was a weird one.
Do you remember him playing?
Not really. It was a weird one with G because he did that amazing performance when he came on against City, and we're like, wow, we've really got a winger on our hands here. And then he just petered out. Poch just didn't fancy him.
I don't think it was Poch. I don't think Poch wanted him. Poor.
All right. George, Kevin and Kudu.
We waited. How long did we wait for this signing to get announced? Everyone was so excited.
Yeah.
And all he did was put one good cross in for
against Fulham.
Against Fulham for Winks again. But he was a player that was it's like Ben Mendy. All he wanted to do was sit on social media.
I mean, Kevin Nkudu was a lovely character, and he was always someone that we really wanted to do well, but it just didn't work out for him. He's at Besiktas now. I don't think he's doing too well there. I think latter end of the season he started scoring a couple and assisting a few, but all in all, his career hasn't been great, has it?
No, it's
another one to go into Paul.
Again, it's another one of who sanctioned that signing.
Yeah.
Who went? What were the scouts doing?
There were glimpses there with him, though. There were glimpses.
Yeah, poor.
Erik Lamela.
Into his 26th season at the club.
I think it's 7th or 8th season. Yeah.
The Gareth Bale replacement.
He's not even a winger anymore.
The Gareth Bale replacement. I don't know what he is now.
30 million
He
signing.
just goes. He just runs around like a headless chicken.
30 million signing from Roma.
Guaranteed booking though on Sky Bet every week. Though, don't forget that.
Him and Winks, to be honest.
Absolute nutcase on the football pitch.
Yeah, but we need that sometimes.
He just gives someone. It's just the stare he gives. Yeah. You know the stare.
We need that sometimes.
The Lamela death stare.
In terms of a signing though, what's he been? Or a winger?
He was a trophy or two away from being a good player, I think. I don't know. It's the fact that he's got nothing to show for it because he scored. I know people said the Rabona. He scored, and he's got big assists. That assist at City away when we in the 2-1.
Calling Jack Wilshere a pussy.
Yeah, stamping on
Fabregas's hand.
He scored at City last year.
He nutmegged. Who did he nutmeg? Townsend, and against Arsenal, he nutmegged someone as well.
Oh, I can't remember.
No, that was Van der Vaart I'm thinking of.
And he's had some good games, and also even last season he's come off the bench and changed games and been the catalyst to sort of drive forward. But it's just frustrating.
The thing is with Erik Lamela, it's the same story with him every single season.
Also, hang on, he's also been injured more than he's played.
I was about to say, like Erik Lamela, pre-season, he's the king of pre-season, absolutely amazing every pre-season. Starts the season quite well. First 3 or 4 games really good.
Misses 6 weeks with a
and then suddenly he gets dropped from the team. Or rested or whatever, he gets some injury that nobody ever sees. He's out for 4 or 5 months. He comes back end of the season, comes on a few cameos, plays really well. When he starts, he's poor. When he comes on, he looks good, and that's the revolving cycle. Exactly.
I completely agree with you, and that's why I'm saying is that average for you? I'm sure it will happen this season. I'm sure when we play in the pre-seasons this weekend, he'll score a hat-trick against Birmingham this weekend.
Yeah.
And then who have we got first game? He'll have a worldie against Everton away. he'll have a worldie. Sorry, Everton at home. He'll have a worldie away at Southampton. Then he won't play in the third game, and then Spurs will tweet out saying Erik Lamela back injury, going through rehabilitation, unknown return date.
Yeah, or it will say
come back and then
shouldn't be more than a week, and then he's out for 6 months.
And then setback. He'll come to February and he'll play again. He'll come off the bench for 10 minutes, get an assist when we're 2-0 down to someone, and like you said, the cycle starts again. And it's a shame because he's got talent.
He is. He's a good player.
He's a talented player.
He's a really good player when he wants to be.
He
top end of average, low end of poor. Good for me.
Yeah. Would you sell him this year?
If you could get 20 million in for him, I would sell him probably.
And you've got a replacement.
You can get a good replacement there. You can get a.
But if we don't sell him, this is
Lamela plus 10 million for Sabitzer.
Yeah, something like that. This is it now, though.
Where are you putting him? This is his last season for me.
Yeah, I was going to say, if no one comes in for him, this is it now. It's either
He's only got
score of 10. He's got to get double digits goals and assists.
Well, at the end of this season, he enters his last year of his contract.
So we could, and I don't see us offering him a new one.
So where are you putting him?
I agree with you. Top end of average, lower end of good, and I think that's the problem with players like Erik Lamela is we've got to let them go. It's 8 years. We've won nothing. It's called it's a rebuild. You don't see it's very rare you see at other top clubs in England, especially players being at the club for 8 years, especially without winning anything.
I'm going to put him into the low end of good just because of the shithousery against Wilshere and Fabregas and that kind of thing.
And he does love the club.
And he loves the club. He puts in 100% every time he plays.
No one can doubt his effort. It's just also it's his decision making.
I think
he holds on to the ball so long. It's like Neymar last night in the Champions League final. How many times did he hold on to the ball instead of part? It was like watching. Okay, I know Neymar. Sorry, hang on a minute.
You're about to compare Neymar and Lamela.
Erik Lamela's not fit enough to tie Neymar's boots, but in terms of Neymar last night not wanting to, he just wanted to do it all in his own. Half of the time, Lamela will get to the edge of the box. He'll have Kane in front of him, Son to the left. I don't know, Lucas to the right, slip one of them in, and he'll do a rollover and a drag back, and then by the time that's happened, he's either lost the ball, given it away, or we're 3-0 down.
100%. He's a very, very frustrating player, Erik Lamela. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the last three. Lucas Moura.
He could score 8 own goals a game for the rest of his career. He'll always be elite. Just
I think he goes into elite just for that hat trick.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I know people say, "Oh, stop basing it." People will say in the comments, "Oh, that was a year ago," but. He did score a second half hat trick in a Champions League semi-final, 3-0 down on aggregate, in an intense atmosphere against, at the time, an unbelievable side.
And also, after that, this season under Jose Mourinho, I think he's been one of our best players since Jose's
It's his end product. It's a similar situation to Lamela. It's his decision making and his end product.
In our unpopular opinions, our last one that we did, one of the opinions was change Lucas Moura to a right back.
I gave my opinion on it. I said no. He's not gonna. He's not.
You say that his defensive play is not that good, but actually
working hard is different to being a good defender. I think.
Good point. All right, so where are we putting him? Elite.
Yeah, and also at his age, I think if he was 5 years younger, I would 100% probably say he could be a right back.
He's a big game player as well.
Yeah. No, he is
apart from that,
and also look, he's had to play. Harry Kane misses half a season every year. He has to go up front because we haven't got a backup striker.
Him or Son,
and he always tries his best. It's not. He'll say to you, "I don't want to play up front," but I'll do it. He played
up front at Old Trafford, scored 2 goals.
You did, but he played with Kane up front.
Yeah.
And on his day, he really is unplayable when he wants to be.
I think he's one of the best dribblers in the league, if not the best dribbler in the league.
I think he's underappreciated sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of other clubs would love to have somebody like that in their squad.
I agree. All right. He goes into elite. Stevie B, Steven Bergwijn.
Tough to judge. I do love him though.
I do love him.
I love Stevie.
Celebrations brilliant.
I hope he has a great career with us.
I think he's scored in every big game he's played so far.
United,
City, Wolves, and there was one more, wasn't there? Did he score against? No, he didn't score against.
No, but he won the penalty at Villa.
Right.
Didn't he?
So I think as well, Steven Bergwijn, he's hit the ground running.
And again, he picked up an injury, didn't he, at Burnley?
Yeah, but the only reason he picked up that injury is because he was overplayed and Kane and Son were out.
Kane and all of the Kane Son were all out, and it's a lot of pressure on a new signing. And a new signing who's only 23 years old, come from no disrespect, an easier league in Holland, and I think he's got all the attributes to be an unbelievable player.
And when you compare him to someone like Pepe,
you hear good things about him as well in terms of his work ethic.
100%. You can see it. You can see it.
He's a young boy that doesn't want to go out partying. He wants to work hard. He wants to get better. And if you compare him to Pepe, I mean, £60 million cheaper and much better.
All right. Last but not least,
it's a Tottenham channel.
Last but not least, HeungMin Son, straight into elite. South Korean elite maestro,
as a Spurs legend, one of the nicest players to ever play for us, one of the best players in the league,
one of the only Premier League players to
left foot, right foot,
to complete army service. The guy.
I'm pretty sure he won army service.
He won army service. But HeungMin Son, his numbers speak for itself. 10 goals, 11 goals, 10 assists this season.
In what was essentially a disjointed Tottenham side for the season.
And HeungMin Son, he can play up front, he can play on the left wing. He can do it all, HeungMin Son.
He looked sharp on Saturday.
He did look sharp. Brilliant finish for the second
goal. Albeit
goal.
Against Ipswich, but can only beat what's in front of you.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think he looks sharp, and he's probably really ready to have a full season under Jose and win. I think other than Harry Kane, and I would have said Jan, but he's gone now. Lloris and Kane are two players that really deserve a trophy at Spurs, and I think so does he.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. So HeungMin Son goes straight into the elite. That is our wingers tier list. The last 15 wingers to play for Spurs. Like, subscribe, and comment, and tell us what you think. Where you think?
Yeah, I mean, if there's anyone who's missed out as well in these last 15 years that we have maybe slipped our minds, let us know.
Well, yeah, well, let us know. But let us know as well if you think we're wrong or you think we're right. Just let us know your opinion on where these wingers stack up in this kind of tier list. And let me know.
Let us know who you think Erik Lamela could be replaced with. Leon Bailey's been mentioned.
Gareth Bale's been mentioned.
Lionel Messi's up for sale.
Cristiano Ronaldo as well.
Luis Suarez is on a free.
But anyway, like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.